Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to talk about the iPhone 17 Pro. Now there are several things I want to mention in this video, so stick around, enjoy, and let's get into it. So this isn't going to be a typical video, there are not going to be a lot of B-rolls and whatever, so I like to talk to you guys just as a normal human being, a natural consumer. I'm not a super tech head, I don't get these phones free or anything like that. So I'm just going to discuss what I found out from my testing and my usage of the phone. So I opted into the 17 Pro over the Pro Max because I've had all of the other Pro Maxes, and this time it just felt right to actually try something different. Now, I haven't been rocking this phone completely naked. I've had, cases on it or whatever. I just decided to take it off for this video. And I'm also rocking a ZAG privacy screen protector, if you see here. So that's my style for this phone here. Let me actually unlock it so I can let you guys see the inside. Got my orange going to match the theme of the phone here. So again, let's talk about it. Camera wise, the reason you want to go for the Pro over, my last video, I talked about the Air. So let's talk about the differences a little bit. Again, the reason you want to go for a Pro are those extra camera lenses right there. Now, if you're not a huge camera person, then those lenses aren't necessary. But if you are a Pro user, then of course you want to go for the Pro cameras. They actually zoom in quite far. I actually like to zoom in it like just for natural uses, of course. If you're on vacation, you're at a concert, you can zoom in a little further and get some better shots. Also, for me, I actually use macro mode because let's just say if I'm at work and looking at some small print or trying to read the IMEIs off of boxes and stuff like that to sell out phones to customers, then macro mode really helps because I can just get real close. I could, type them in without trying to strain my eyes to do so. So that's one of the reasons I personally use macro mode. Now, another reason that you'll actually probably want to go for the Pro, in my case, is battery life. Now, a lot of people had the Air confused with battery life, like it didn't last. It lasts me all day. So that should let you know the Pro actually has a better battery than the Air. So this definitely gets me at least 6 to 7 hours of screen on time from my usage personally. And that's on a average day for, pretty much all day. Phone is fine. I end the day with roughly 30-40% and, be good and can charge up in the morning or actually go a little bit the next day. So battery life, A1 for a small size phone if you want something that still feels light. This isn't as light as the Air, of course, but this is a light phone. This is nothing heavy for, for anyone, in my opinion. This is a great phone to have. Another thing, the biggest thing, if you've made it to this point in the video, is going to be the speakers. Like, I don't know if you guys know, for those of you who haven't owned the Air, but that was my biggest gripe. That single firing speaker. A lot of people say, well, it's not that bad. No. I gave the Air a lot of grace, but those speakers, like, I'm a realist. Those speakers aren't for everybody. I'll say it like that. And for me, they weren't worth it because, again, I use my phone on speakerphone a lot. And watch a lot of videos that say have a quiet day at work. Phone is in landscape. That one-sided firing speaker, it could be done, but speakerphone, I definitely couldn't do that. And the volume is definitely lower than the Pro series, even the 17 series because of dual speakers. But those are my main things that, would make someone go for the Pro over the Air. Besides that, this feels like, just another iPhone. I don't think the phone feels any cheaper because they went with this aluminum over the titanium or anything like that. Most people are putting phone cases on their phones anyway. So again, you're not going to really notice that whole titanium versus aluminum thing unless you rock your phone, completely naked. So I haven't for this particular version because, again, I felt that way for the Air. For this one, I don't feel that way because a lot of people say that they've gotten scratches. As you see, I haven't gotten any from my usage because, again, I've always had a case on it during my testing. So, and I probably will for most of the time. I'm going to have a case on it. The few times I won't will be, again, in the home and things like that. So, again, I don't think I'll have that problem whatsoever. Now, as far as the look goes, again, I like the color. I'm just not a huge fan of the two-tone, like this little whatever they went for here. Now the camera, this section doesn't bother me, but this little bottom piece, I don't know what they were thinking of here, but I get it. Most of the internals are at the top, and most of the bottom is battery. And again, the battery is better than last year's phones for sure, because this feels like I'm using a Pro Max in a Pro's body, like a regular Pro's body. So battery won't have no problem with. Cameras, of course, definitely won't have no problem with. Speakers, you get the dual speakers, so you definitely getting all of the Pro features. But here's my thing: why you want to go Pro? This is to make it uniform, and what I mean by that, most people who use tech to its full potential either has like a MacBook Pro. Let me show you guys right here. Getting a notification. Ain't y'all glad I kept y'all from that blinding light, just from that flash? But anyways, back to my point. You just never know what'll happen during a video. But I use the MacBook Pro. I have the Apple Watch Ultra, the AirPods Pro. So what I'm trying to say is, if you have most of the Pro items when it comes to Apple, I just like keeping my stuff uniform. So if you have the MacBook Air, if you have, just the regular AirPods and, the iPad Air or whatever, then again, make it uniform. Like, you don't have to do that, but for me, I just like my stuff to be uniform when it comes to, my tech products. Like with Samsung, I don't want to rock AirPods with a Galaxy phone, or vice versa, a Galaxy Buds with an iPhone. I like it uniform. Same thing goes with the level of the phone. If I'm getting the Ultra Galaxy, which I'm using for this video, by the way, I got the Galaxy Ultra Watch. I'm not going to get the regular one. I just like, my stuff uniform. So chose the Pro because I have the AirPods Pro. I have the MacBook Pro. So it just felt good to get the Pro series. And a lot of people will go for the Pro and Pro Max, not because the Air is trash, because again, that Pro name, just the name Pro, kind of makes people go out and spend that extra $100, $200 to get the Pro series phones, even though they may or may not use the extra lenses, don't use speakerphone on their phone a lot. Like, just the history of the Pro series has been better than anything Apple has pretty much released. So going forward, most people are like, I don't want any phone problems. I don't want to take a chance. Let me just get something I know that's going to work, that's going to last, and go for a Pro series. So, if you're doing it for that reason, I definitely understand. That's one of my reasons for actually using the Pro over the Air. So outside of that, basically, this is another iPhone. I don't think there were overly drastic changes in my opinion. It still feels like an iPhone, but it does feel complete. I'm not completely satisfied with iOS 26 just yet, because I feel like once they get everything under control with the little minor bug fixes that they need, then battery life is only going to increase, of course, and the phone is just going to be even more smooth. It's smooth now, but again, once they fix that, those first release jitters of iOS and the phone itself, then hey, you'll be fine when it comes to battery, all of that stuff. I haven't had any issues, but there have been reports that some people do have issues. And hey, I hope Apple fixed those for you guys. But other than that, if you guys have any questions about this phone, I don't have a lot more to tell or show you guys. I just wanted to hop on the camera, talk to you guys like I did in the Air video. But again, if you have any questions, any concerns, anything like that, feel free to ask in the comment section. If you guys want to see more, natural shots with this camera or things like that, just stay tuned to the channel, leave a like, sub up. And of course, I normally do vlogs. I do different reactions where I'm using the cameras from my phone, things like that. And again, I can get you guys an experience of what it's like to actually use this phone, day to day with the cameras, because a lot of people, especially content creators, use the Pro level phones. And you don't have to take advantage of Pro RAW and all that to do, basic editing stuff. It's just really good to have an iPhone camera in your pocket at all times. Even if you are an Android user, Android is cool when it comes to cameras. Like, I like the Android cameras, but the video capability of Apple has reigned supreme for quite a while, and you can actually use it, airdrop it. Like, Apple software just works really well with video creation. So not to say that Android isn't faster in some aspects and things like that, camera isn't better, and zoom and all that kind of stuff, but whatever, y'all get it. For y'all techies and non-techies, I just wanted to explain that. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all want to see next from me. I'm gonna hop back on some vlogs and reaction videos coming up. I'll probably touch back up with this phone after a month, 30-day test, whatever I call it. But y'all let me know what y'all want to see in the comments below. Thank y'all for tuning in, and thank y'all for supporting me on my last video. Got a record high for quite a while, so thank y'all for tuning in to that iPhone Air video, and I appreciate it if you guys continue to support the channel. Thank you so much. But again, catch y'all in the next video. Deuces.